Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice and screen. Those are attending in online. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice and screen. Those who are attending in online, please confirm to me, guys. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice and screen. Those who are attending in online. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice and screen. Those who are attending in online. All right. Good morning, guys. And there is a small intimation to all of you. So this Friday, that is on 25th Friday, so at the morning 8:30, I'm going to start a new full stack Java batch. So if any of your friends wants to come for it, just refer them. Not only that, yourself, if you want to see again that introduction classes, up to whatever the classes, if you are missing, for example, if you miss any class, if you want to get back that, you can attend at morning 8:30 also. This Friday morning 8:30, just very first class, very first demo class. I'm going to take just orientation only, no technical content. Then after that, Monday onwards, regular classes are going to be start. Okay, all right, sir. So now, so that is not mandatory for all of you know. So these classes and 10 o'clock class are mandatory for you. That is what I'm doing there for new members. New students will come there on the time. So if you want to attend again as a backup or again you want to attend, if you want to attend, those who are especially those who are from non-computer science background. So you can utilize that opportunity. Anyway, of course, I'm giving video support to you. You can watch that videos any number of times there. But apart from that live class, if you want to attend again, just you can attend the classes then. Okay, Friday 8:30 morning, 8:30 to 10 o'clock. Okay, right, sir. So I think so we are discussing about the differences between Java and others. In the differences between Java and others, topic here I'm giving there. Now try to understand it. And so yesterday it was unfortunate. All of a sudden I got some other schedule. That's why I'm not taking the class. But I tried to intimate our office there. Even at office also it might be a bit delay. I think some of you are getting messages, some of you are not getting messages. I think so, right? Fine. Do one thing. I want to give a direct communication with you. What I'm telling to you, just 1 minute. Then just open your mobile phones. 1 minute. All of you, everybody, open your mobile phones. Okay, open your mobile phones. Go to the Play Store. Play Store. Mobile phone in the sense you must have internet connection, sir. And by switching off internet connection, open mobile phone, no use for it. Mobile phone in the sense internet connection is mandatory. Okay. All right, sir. Then what I'm telling to you, go to Play Store. There search for Google Classroom app. Classroom app. Directly you can type classroom or Google Classroom. Google space classroom. Either of this we can type. All of you. Okay. Have you identified the tab? Install it. Install it. Don't say to me, sir, I'm not having sufficient space now. That is your minimum responsibility. Come on, install it. Google Classroom app you have to install. Okay. Installed? No? Yes, sir. Network slow. Don't ask to me my Wi-Fi password. Not possible. My classes are important, right? So I need complete internet, right? Otherwise my webinar is not going to be run. I need to take the classes. But anyway, I'll wait to 1 minute of time. Don't worry for it. Try to install it. Google Classroom, install it. When you install it, open it. When we open that, now it is asking classroom code. It's asking classroom code. I open that classroom code there. Just you can use that classroom code. Okay. Classroom code I given. Take this classroom code. Yes, taken. It is asking when we install it, it is asking classroom code. If you open that classroom code, if it, then it is open there, then use that classroom code. All right, sir. If you provide the classroom code, there we are able to get to directly like what there is a panel. There is a panel for us, right? Or at least then better try to take picture of it. Even if it is not possible to do that in the classroom there, at your home we can do this. Okay. Don't send any message to me. Just 1 minute. I will send message to try to check it that message is available with you or not. What's it? Join now. See, don't go for create class. You are not a teacher. Myself is a teacher. You are a student. You have to join with the class. Join option. Select join option. Okay. Create a class or join a class. Options will come. There we have to select what there join class. In a join class, you have to enter this class code. Got it. Fine. Other messages are already available. Previous messages for some other people. Don't worry. Some other messages you got there. Don't worry. Don't respond for that messages there. That is some other students already joined with this classroom. For you also, I'm sharing the same classroom so that you can communicate. I can communicate directly with you through this app. Okay. All of you have taken this code, classroom code. Everybody, I've taken this classroom code. Okay. Just I'm sending some good morning message to you. Just check it whether you are getting that message or not. Right. Just message I'm sending to you. Got it? Okay. Then directly you may get notification regarding this classroom there. So it's a direct intimation from my side. If you want to give any messages to you, if you want to give any Java related articles, or if you want to, maybe in all of sudden, if you want to, unable to come to this location like this, if you want to give any message to you, immediately I can give message through this app so that you can communicate with us. Okay. And moreover, so don't share this channel with any other persons here. This is purely for the sake of you. Okay. So max technical related things only we are going to see here. Okay, not required to go for any other content. No politics, nothing else, right? This only here. This is I created for the sake of what there, just to communicate with you from my side. If I want to talk with you, any message or any information directly, I'm going to use this app. Okay, directly from my message, from my directly from a mobile, I can use this. Okay, I'm going to delete this message. It's okay, fine. Right. Then previously I given some other things, no? All right, it's okay. Leave this one. Can I move forward? Can I go for the content? That's it. So you can try this at your home also. Then I given that process clearly to you. All right, sir. So let's move on to the content. Now we are discussing about the differences between Java and others. In the differences between Java and others, what topics here we completed? Almost 3 topics here we completed. What are the 3 things here we completed? No. First one is what there C and C++ are static programming languages, but Java is what there a dynamic programming language. Next one is C and C++. That means preprocessor is required in C and C++, but preprocessor is not required in Java. Third important point I completed there. C and C++ are Platform dependent programming languages, but Java is what? Platform independent programming language. Good. Last one is what there? Pointers. Now I need to discuss about the fourth one, right? Pointers are required in C and C++, but Java does not require pointers. That's okay, fine. So these are the differences here, what you are getting clear. Okay, fine. Let's move on to this fourth point, pointers topic here we have to understand. Okay. Observe carefully, all of you know. Before going to understand whether pointers are existed or not existed before that, first we have to understand what is a pointer. What is a pointer? What is the nature of the pointer? We have to understand that. After that, whether it is suitable in C, C++ or it is not suitable in Java, that we are going to understand later on. But first of all, we have to understand what is a pointer. What is the meaning of the pointer here? We have to understand. Let's see this clearly. First of all, what is a pointer? Variable is available in programming languages. Variables are able to store data, normal data. Variables are able to store what now? Data directly. Say for example, int a is equal to 10. So here a is a variable. It is able to store the data 10. 10 is what their data. The data is stored in a variable a. Its a type is what their integer type now. Its a type is what their integer type. Okay, leave this one. But what is a pointer variable now? Observe carefully. Pointer is a variable. Of course, normal variable only. Pointer is a variable. It is able to store address locations of the data structures, address locations of the data structures, address locations of the data structures, where the data structures may be a variable. Address location where data structures may be a variable, comma, an array, comma, a structure. In the case of C programming language, structures are available. For example, structure, maybe structure, or maybe another pointer variable. Also carefully, all of you know. For example, if you have a variable and a data, variable will refer a block of memory where data is available. Variable is a name for the block of memory, but that memory has some address location. That address locations are maintained by the pointer variables. And a simple statement, pointers are able to store address locations. That's it. Pointers are able to store what their address locations, not more than that. Okay, in a technical definition, if you want to speak out, pointer is a variable. It is able to store address locations of the data structures. Address locations of the data structures, where the data structures may be a variable, an array, or a structure, or another pointer variable. That's it. Now diagrammatically, I want to show this. Try to understand it clearly. Try to understand this. Diagrammatically, I want to show this. For example, how we are going to declare pointer variable first? Of course, C programming language only. Int a is equal to 50. Tell me, int a is equal to 50. What is this actually? It's a normal variable or not? Int a is equal to 50 is a normal variable or not? Yes, it is a normal variable. Int star p semicolon and p is equal to ampersand a semicolon. Understand it clearly? Int a is equal to 50. Int star p. Here star p is nothing but the notation star. If we use, no, it's a pointer variable. Now p is what their pointer variable. It is not going to store data. It's going to store address of the data. It's going to store what their address of the data. P is equal to ampersand a. P is equal to what their ampersand a. Everybody understand it clearly. P is equal to what there? Ampersand is A. Where in the ampersand is A in the sense what there? Address of A. Address of A, maybe something else is available. That value will be stored in what variable? No, P variable. See this, I'm going to elaborate it clearly. Now, when we compile this code into A is equal to 50, automatically A variable will have 2 bytes of memory. In C programming language, integer variables will have 2 bytes of memory. Where in the 2 bytes of memory, data 50 will be stored. 50 is the data. Okay, this entire thing is like what there is a memory. Am I right or not? For this memory, some address is available, address location. That is like what there 1010. Understand it clearly? Okay, this entire thing is going to be happen when we compile this code into A is equal to 50 semicolon. If we do this, first A variable, 2 bytes of memory will be created. Inside the 2 bytes of memory, data 50 will be stored. This entire memory is having the address. What is the address location there? 1010. That's okay, fine. When we compile this code into star P is representing what? Pointer variable. Normal A is representing what? Normal variable. Star P is representing what? Pointer variable. So now this pointer variable P is available here. This P is having some memory. How much memory it is having there? How much memory is required to store address value? How much memory is required to store address value? Up to that memory will be created. Okay, it is created. Maybe 1 byte or 2 bytes. That depends on the address values. How much it is available there. Okay, fine. Now it is created. When we compile the last statement, P is equal to ampersand A. First ampersand A will be calculated. What is that ampersand A? Address value. What is that address value of A? 1010. That we assign to which variable? P variable. That we assign to P variable. That value will be copied to P variable. Now here P variable is going to have what value now? 1010. P variable is having what value? 1010. When P variable is having the value 1010, physically, if you want to represent diagrammatically, P variable is referring this particular memory block. P variable is referring this particular memory block. That's it. This is the representation of the pointer variable. Tell me, P variable is a variable which refers this memory block or not? Which refers address location of this particular data structure or not? That's why this variable is called as a pointer variable. This variable is called as like what there? Pointer variable. So, are you getting my point or not? This variable is called as what there? Pointer variable. This is the basic awareness of this pointer variable. I'm asking one question to all of you. Try to answer for it. When these pointer variables are recognized and initialized, tell me at what time this pointer variable is recognized and initialized? At the time of compilation or at the time of runtime, execution time? Come on, who is doing this entire work? Compiler or not? Who is performing this entire work? Definitely compiler. Compiler has performed this entire work. Am I right or not? Compiler has done this entire work. Now tell me, compiler is providing memory for the pointer variables in the sense, which type of memory allocation it is? No, is it a static memory allocation or dynamic memory allocation? Static memory allocation. If it is static memory allocation, we can understand it. Pointer variables require static memory allocation. Pointer variables required what there? Static memory allocation. So it is supported by only static programming languages. Pointers are supported by what there? Static programming languages. As it is required, static memory allocation. Put more concentration now. The points are very much simple. No need to think too much about it. Very simple points I'm telling to you. Okay, fine. Now let's understand it clearly. Now all of you observe carefully here. The point here, what I'm telling to you, pointer is a variable. It is able to store address locations of the data structures, where the data structures may be a variable, an array, or a structure, or another pointer variable. It's okay. In general, Pointer variables are recognized and initialized at the time of compilation. At the time of what there? Compilation. That's okay, fine. It's okay. The 2 points are okay, fine. Now here I'm asking one important interview question. Arey yaar. 1 minute. Yeah, okay, fine. Now tell me, here we are getting one important interview question. What was that interview question here we are getting there? All of you observe carefully. Why pointer variables are not suitable in Java? Directly we said to us, pointer variables are required in C, C++, but they are not required in Java. But my question is, why are pointer variables not suitable in Java? Is it got it or not? This is a question here we have to understand clearly. Now I'm going to give some answers to you. Now try to understand these answers clearly. Point number one, pointer variables, observe carefully, pointer variables required static memory allocation. Pointer variables required static memory allocation. But Java is following what memory allocation? No, Java is following dynamic memory allocation. This is point number one. Pointer variables required static memory allocation, but Java is following what there? Dynamic memory allocation. That's nice. Next one is, once the pointer variables require static memory allocation, so pointers are supported by the static programming languages. Static programming languages. But Java is a dynamic programming language. Am I right or not? But Java is what there? A dynamic programming language. Nice. Point number three. All of you observe carefully. This point is important. Now try to understand it clearly. Pointer variables are very much suitable in platform dependent programming languages. But Java is a, come on, platform independent programming language. Just understand 1 minute. I want to explain this point here. This is required for us. Now try to understand it clearly. Pointer variables are very much suitable in platform dependent programming languages, but Java is a platform independent programming language. Understand this point clearly, all of you know. Everybody understand this clearly. Pointers are very much suitable in platform dependent programming languages, but is not suitable in platform independent programming language. Why? Because, listen carefully. For the next 5 minutes, understand, pointers are available in Java. Java is a platform independent programming language. For it, inside this, for 5 minutes, understand it, no? Pointers are available in Java. Okay, right. Observe carefully. I prepared a Java program. As it is a platform independent programming language. I can compile the Java program in one computer and I can execute the same Java program in another computer. Am I right or not? We can compile in one computer, we can run it on another computer. Am I right or not? Okay, now understand it clearly. Compilation is on one computer and execution is on what there? Another computer. Now, okay, fine. That's the meaning of platform independent programming language. Nice. Listen, all of you, listen carefully. I prepared a Java program. I compiled my Java program in computer one. I have used a pointer variable in my Java program. When I compile the Java program, pointer variable is referring a memory location like 1010. In a computer one, I compiled my Java program. Part of the compilation, pointer variable is referring the memory location 1010. Observe carefully. Clear to all of you know? Okay, clear. That's okay, fine. Next one is what? I want to execute the same program in another computer. But at compilation, pointer variable is referring what location? 1010. Same program I copied, I went to some other system. In some other system, I'm executing the program. When I execute the program, that pointer variable is still referring 1010 location or not. But in the system, when we perform compilation, 1010 space is available. So we can refer that space through the pointer variable. It's okay. But when we copy the same program to other computer, in other computer, that pointer variable still refers what there? 1010. But do you have any guarantee that 1010 location is available in other computer? 1010 location is available in the first computer where we perform a compilation. Up to that, it's okay. But do you get any guarantee that 1010 memory location is available at other computer which is referred by the pointer variable? That 1010 location may have some operating system software, some other system softwares maybe. If we do manipulation with the data of this 1010, unnecessarily our operating system softwares may be corrupted. If our operating system is corrupted, there is a chance of executing our applications. No. Got my point or not? So because of that reason, pointer variables are not suitable in the case of like what their platform independent programming languages. They're suitable in the case of what their platform dependent programming languages. How sir? How can you say these pointers are suitable in platform dependent programming languages? No. Answer is very clear. For compilation and execution, same operating system, same computer here we have to use or not. If we use the same computer, at compilation time, we pointer variable is referring 1010 location. That 1010 location is available even at runtime or not. For execution time also, that 1010 location is available or not, so that we can map the data, we can access the data directly. So why? Because we are using the same computer, same operating system at runtime also, at runtime. That means at compilation time and at runtime. Because of this reason, pointers are very much suitable in the case of C and C++, means that platform dependent programming languages, but pointers are not at all suitable in the case of like what their platform independent programming languages. Clear? Leave this point. Next one is fourth one. All of you observe carefully. Everybody understand this now? Right, sir. Pointer variables is a confusion oriented feature. Pointer variables is a confusion oriented feature. Mr. Gardner, pointers is a confusion oriented feature, but Java is Bargo. Okay. So, but Java is can you please close the door? No? Wait 1 minute. Please close the door. Close the door. Okay. All right, sir. But Java is a simple programming language. A simple programming language. Java is a simple programming language. It must not allow confusion. It must not allow confusion oriented features. Confusion oriented features. Observe carefully. Pointers are confusion oriented features. Okay, no problem. But Java is a simple programming language. It must not allow confusion oriented features. Understand it clearly now? See, pointers is a confusion oriented features. How sir? How can you say like this? In two ways we can say that. In general, when we come for the programming in C programming language, the most confusion oriented feature for everybody in C is what their pointers only in general. There is a general awareness for everybody. The general thing for everybody. That is one reason. Okay, leave that reason. That is not the main reason. No. But what is the main reason? What is the main reason why pointers is a bit confusion oriented feature? Listen, all of you know. In C, there are two levels of pointers. How many levels of pointers are available? Two levels of pointers. What are the two levels of pointers in C? First one is single level pointer and second one is what there? Multi-level pointer. Single level pointer, and second one is what there? Multi-level pointer. What is single level pointer and what is multi-level pointer? If you observe this, listen carefully. If a pointer is referring directly address of the data, single level pointer, directly pointer is referring address of the data, directly data reference, that is called as what there? Single level pointer. But what is this multi-level pointers? No, a pointer is referring another pointer is referring some other pointer is referring what there? Some other pointer. Finally, that pointer is referring data. Understand it clearly what I'm telling you now. So one pointer is referring another pointer is referring some other point is referring what their data. So this is called as like what their multi-level pointers. In C programming, if we use multi-level pointers, in C programming, if we use multi-level pointers in more level, like one level, two levels, easily we can trace it. Which pointer is referring which pointer and which pointer is referring data. But if the level is a 10th level, 7th level or 10th level, how can we trace it? Which pointer is referring which pointer? No, it's somewhat difficult or not? Definitely is a somewhat difficult part to trace which pointer is referring which pointer. Like this is somewhat difficult or not? So because of that reason, what we are saying that pointers are very much confusion oriented feature in the application development. Because of that reason, we are saying that pointer variables are confusion oriented features. That means pointer variable is a bit confusion oriented feature, but Java is what? But Java is a simple programming language. It must not allow confusion oriented features. Because of these reasons, we can conclude that pointers are very much suitable in a C and a C++, but pointers are not suitable in Java. Come on, try to understand this clearly. One more time, I'm telling to you, pointer variables require static memory allocation. Now C and C++ are following what memory allocation? Static memory allocation. So they are suitable in C and C++ or not? But Java is following what? Dynamic memory allocation. So pointers are not suitable in the case of Java. Point number 2. Pointers are supported by static programming languages. C and C++ are static programming languages or not? So that's why pointers are supported. Pointers are available in C and C++. But Java is a dynamic programming language. But pointers are supported by static programming languages. So pointers are not suitable in the case of like what there? Java. Next one is pointers are very much suitable in platform dependent programming languages. C and C++ are what? Platform dependent programming languages. But Java is a platform independent programming language. So pointers are not suitable in Java. They are suitable in C and C++. Pointers is a confusion oriented feature. But Java is a simple programming language. It must not allow confusion oriented features. When compared with Java, C and C++ are a bit confusion oriented, bit complex programming languages. But Java is what their simple programming languages. Okay, there is a chance of having pointers in C and C++, but there is no chance of having pointers in what their Java. Yes, sir. All of you are getting it or not? Okay, fine. Even after giving this much of answer to that interviewer will ask one more question to us. Interviewer will ask one more question to us. Now try to answer for it clearly. What is that question that interviewers are able to ask there? This is entire thing is what they're related to C and C++ both. Now I'm going to give some information about the Java. What information is available in Java? If we take a class in general, classes are provided to represent the real world entities. What are the real world entities there? Maybe a student, or maybe an employee, or maybe a customer, or maybe any account, or maybe a product, or maybe anything. All these things are like what are their classes, entities. To represent that entities here, we are having what their classes. In Java, in object oriented programming, not only in the case of Java, in every object oriented programming, classes are available to represent entities. Yes, sir. All of you are getting up to this or not? Okay. In Java, if we create an object for a particular class, say for example, if we create a small a is equal to new a object, if we create, no, there also be what happened in the case of Java here. Observe carefully. A block of memory will be created. In Java, a block of memory will be created. That block of memory is referred by a variable. That block of memory is referred by a variable. That variable is what there? A variable. Now A is referring this block of memory. Now in the case of Java, we can call this variable as a reference variable. In Java, this variable is called as what? The reference variable. In C and C++, this variable is called as what? Their pointer variable. But in Java, this variable is what? Their reference variable. Now here, interviewer question is what? In this case, interviewer question is very simple. Now try to understand that question clearly. In C and C++, listen all of you know, in C and C++, a variable is referring block of memory. That's why that variable is a pointer variable. Everybody understand it clearly. In C and C++, a variable, P variable is referring this block of memory. That's why this variable is what? Their pointer variable. In the case of Java, when we create an object for a particular class, here also be a variable is referring a block of memory. Here also be a variable is referring a block of memory. So why don't we call this variable as a pointer variable? Why we are calling that variable is a reference variable? And how can we say that pointers are not available in Java? Is it all of you are getting my question? This question would be asked by interviewers in outside. Once again, I'm explaining to you. Now try to understand it clearly. Now the diagram, first diagram, if you observe there, P variable P is referring a block of memory. That's why this variable is called what? Pointer variable. In the case of Java, when we create an object for a particular class, there also be a variable is referring block of memory. Same in C and C++, a variable is referring block of memory. In the same Java, a variable is referring block of memory. So now, how can you say pointers are not available in Java, and why don't we call this A variable as a pointer variable? How can we call it as a reference variable in the case of Java? That's a question here. Again, I understand my question here. Question is very clear. In C and C++, a variable is referring block of memory. That's why this variable is a pointer variable. In the case of Java, when we create an object for a particular class, here also be a variable is referring a block of memory. Why don't we call this variable as a pointer variable? How can we say that pointers are not available inside the Java? So altogether, what I am asking there, what exactly the difference between pointer variable and a reference variable? What exactly the difference between pointer variable and reference variable? These points here we are going to understand clearly. That's the question here I'm asking there. Indirectly, the question is like what there? What are the differences between pointer variable and the reference variable? What are the differences between pointer variable and reference variable? This is the question here we have to understand. Right, now here we have to go with answers. Now try to understand it clearly. But before going to give answer here, I want to give some internal concept, some internal story. We already aware what is the meaning of pointer variable, how pointer is created. Already we understood that. But we don't know anything about this reference variable. How reference variable is creating internally, we don't know that. If we understand how reference variable is created in Java, after that we can compare with the pointer and reference variable, then we can give the conclusion. Sir, all of you are getting my point or not? If I ask a question to you, tell me what is the difference between pointer variable and reference variable. First we have to understand what is pointer variable and what is reference variable. After that only we can compare these two variables. Up to now our status is what there? We are aware about pointer variable. Pointer is a variable, it able to refer a block of memory by storing address location. If a variable is storing address location, then this variable is called as what there? Pointer variable, that we know. But what is reference variable in Java? We don't know that. If you know what is the reference variable, then easily we can compare both the pointer variable and reference variable. Now I'm going to talk about what is the reference variable. What is the meaning of reference variable? Now I'm going to discuss with you. Try to understand it clearly. All of you observe carefully. For example, in the case of Java, we have a class A. Here we are getting inside this class A. Here we have some elements. Here we are having some code. All of you observe carefully. Object creation statement in Java is like what there? A small a is equal to new a constructor. This part is called as what there? Constructor. A small a is equal to new a constructor. Okay, fine. One more point I'm telling you, observe carefully. In Java, we are going to use one type of memory. What type of memory here we are going to use? In the case of Java, the type of memory is heap memory. In Java, we are able to use one type of memory, that is what there? Heap memory. Everybody understand it clearly. So this is exactly called as like what there? Heap memory. Okay, fine. To control this total heap memory, one person is assigned. To control this total heap memory, one person is provided here. Okay, fine. Who is this person actually? This person name, to control this total heap memory, we have a person. That person is what there? Heap manager. What is this person name? Keno? Heap manager. Nice. Next one is what? To execute Java program, one person is available separately. Now tell me, who will execute Java programs? No. Who will execute C programs? C engine. Who will execute C++ programs? C++ engine. Am I right or not? Who will execute Python programs? Python engine. Python engine is also be called as what there? PVM. PVM. What is that PVM? Python virtual machine. Similarly, to execute Java programs, we have a Java engine. To execute Java programs, we have a Java engine. The name of the Java engine is what there? JVM, Java Virtual Machine. Here only. Concept is available. Now try to understand it clearly. When JVM executes this instruction, especially new keyword, immediately JVM will send a request to the heap manager about to create an object for class A. At the time of sending this request to the JVM will identify how much memory is required to create object. That memory size is also be given to the heap manager. Okay, tell me what is the point I'm telling there? When JVM executes object creation statement, especially new keyword, immediately JVM will send a request to the heap manager. What is that request? No, I need to store A class data. So create an object for my class A requirement in the heap memory. Okay, at the time of giving that request to the heap manager, JVM has given that memory sizes also. That memory size calculation is different. It is available internally inside the JVM. So, but finally, memory size and a request will be provided to the heap manager about to create an object. Okay, fine. When a heap manager receives request from the JVM, immediately heap manager will search for the required block of the memory. For example, JVM required 10 bytes of memory object. Now JVM might be given information to heap manager, I need 10 bytes of memory object. Then heap manager will search for 10 bytes of memory. Heap manager will search for what there? 10 bytes of memory. When it is searching for 10 bytes of memory, now here it will go to like what there? Heap memory, 10 bytes of memory, object is created. Object is what there? Created in a heap memory. This is an object which is created here clearly now. Yes, sir. All of you are following up to know? All of you are getting up to know? So JVM submitted request to the heap manager. Heap manager search for the 10 bytes of memory as a single block. Then it assign that memory block to what their JVM requirement. So this is called as what? Object. This block of memory is called as what their? Object. Observe carefully. Okay, fine. This is exactly the meaning of like what their object. All of you put more concentration now. You're all sitting here, for example. In front of me, you are sitting. But I want to access individually each and every person. I want to access each and every person individually. So definitely I need your identity or not. With your identity only, I can access that each and every person individually or not. What is your identity? Your name. Am I right or not? Your name is what? Their identity. By using that name, I can access each and every person individually. Am I right? All of you are getting clarity. Similarly, in a Java program, how many objects are going to be created? In Java applications, how many objects are going to be created? Do you think about it? Only one object is creating in our application. As per the requirement, we may create n number of objects. Hundreds of objects we have to create. That depends on our application requirement. Okay, assume it. For example, more than one object is available. How many objects are available? No, more than one object is available. Maybe 10 objects are available. But 10 objects are created, it's okay. But how to access them or not? How to keep data, how to get data from the object, how to use that objects or not? But if I want to access objects, no, I require its identity or not? If I want to access each and every individual person, I require your identity or not? Similarly, multiple objects are available here inside the heap memory. If I want to access them, I need their identity or not? Each and every object has must have its identity or not? Through that identity only, I can access that objects or not? So when object is created inside the heap memory, immediately heap manager will provide an unique identity for each and every object. When object is created, automatically one unique identity will be created for that respective object. Similarly, for all objects, every object has their own identity. So for this object in the heap memory, there is an unique identity in the form of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, for example. In the form of an integer value, one unique identity is created for this particular object. The unique identity for this particular object is called hash code of the object. Unique identity which is provided by heap manager for each and every object in the form of an integer value. Then that integer value, that unique identity for each and every object in the form of an integer value is called as what? Their hash code of the object. What is that code here? No, hash code of the object. Clear? When a hash code of the object is created, immediately heap manager will take that hash code value. Heap manager will take that hash code value. Heap manager will send the hash code value to JVM. Heap manager will send the hash code value to JVM. Okay, now this is like what I'm telling there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hash code value is provided to the JVM. Now JVM is converting this hash code value to the hash code value to it's a hexadecimal value. Say for example AB56 is a hexadecimal form of hash code. Now this is like what the hexa of a hash code here we can identify. Now the hexadecimal form of hash code, what's the value? Hexadecimal form of hash code is called as reference value of the object. Hexadecimal form of hash code is called as what? The reference value of the object. When the reference value is created, that reference value will be assigned to a variable. When the reference value is created, that reference value will be assigned to a variable. Then that variable is called reference variable. That variable is called as what? The reference variable. That variable is called as what? The reference variable. Everybody understand the points clearly what I'm telling you now. Now we are understanding what is the meaning of reference variable. Once again, one more time, I'm going to explain the entire content here. Now try to understand it clearly. Of course, this is useful for us throughout our Java. How object is creating, how hash code is created, how reference value is created. That is required for us throughout the Java. That's why here we have to understand the content clearly. Now understand the point here. What I'm telling you know, when we create an object in Java, JVM will send a request to the heap manager about to create an object. Heap manager will assign a block of memory for the JVM requirement. That block of memory is called as what there? An object. When object is created in heap memory, automatically an unique identity is created by the heap manager in the form of an integer value. That unique identity in the form of integer value is called as what there? Hash code of the object. When hash code value is created, that value is given to the JVM. Now JVM is converting the hash code value to what there? Hexadecimal form. Hexadecimal form of hash code is called as what there? Reference value of the object. If we assign this reference value to a variable, that variable is called as what there? Reference variable. So finally now tell me, reference variable is a variable. It is able to store object reference value. Come on, now tell me, what is reference variable? Reference variable is a variable. It is able to store object reference value. Where what is object reference value? Object reference value is a hexadecimal form of what there? Hash code. Reference value is the hexadecimal form of what there? Hash code. What is hash code here? No, hash code is an unique identity provided to the each and every object in the form of an integer value. Hash code is an integer value but not address location. Reference value is a hexadecimal form of hash code but not reference value, but not address location. Reference variable is able to store only reference value but not address location. So reference variable is not at all representing any address location. Reference variable is representing hexadecimal form of the hash code. Hash code is an integer value provided by the heap manager to each and every object. Yes, all of you are getting it or not? Now in the comparison here I am telling there, this is the reference value. Now the reference value is like what there? Say for example, reference value is what there? AB56 is the value we provided. Okay, this is like what the reference variable here we can understand. Now coming to the comparison between pointer variable and reference variable. Coming to the comparison between pointer variable and reference variable. Now tell me, it's very simple. Pointer is a variable. It is able to refer a block of memory by storing its address location. Pointer is a variable. It is able to refer a block of memory by storing its address location. But a reference variable is a variable. It able to refer a block of memory by storing a object reference value. Where reference value is a hexadecimal form of hash code. Hash code is an unique identity for each and every object. So pointer variable is different. Reference variable is different. Pointer variables are available in C and C++, but reference variables are available in what? Java. Pointer variables required static memory allocation, but reference variables required what? Dynamic memory allocation. Pointer variables are supported by static programming languages, but reference variables are supported by what? Dynamic programming language. So because of that reason, pointers are different, reference variables are different. That's it. Now let me check these points now. That's it. Now first of all, understand the points here. Now I want to show this diagram here. This diagram I want to copy here. First of all, understand it clearly. Pointer variables are existed in C and C++. But whereas reference variables are existed in Java. Alright, now let's understand the point number 2. Pointer variables are able to refer a block of memory by storing its address locations. Pointer variables are able to refer a block of memory by storing address locations, but reference variables are able to refer a block of memory by storing object reference value. By storing what there? Object reference value. Where the object reference value with object reference value is the hexadecimal form of hash code. The hash code of an object is an unique identity, provided by the heap manager in the form of an integer value. That's the meaning of reference variable. Point number 3. Pointer variables required static memory allocation, but pointer variables required what memory allocation? There static memory allocation, and which are supported by the static programming languages. Okay. Next one is reference variables are required. Reference variables required dynamic memory allocation, and which are supported by the dynamic programming languages. Right, sir. Which are supported by the dynamic programming languages. Right, sir. Okay. Right, sir. Now this is about like what the content here we have to understand about the content here. So differences also here we understood, the required definition also here we provided, the diagram also here we provided. So this is the story behind like what the pointer variables and its features in C, C++, and which are available which are not available in the case of Java. Why pointers are not available in Java? Here I given some reasons here. So what is the difference between pointer variable and reference variable? The differences also here we understood clearly. So this is about another point here we have to understand. Fourth one. Okay, leave this one here. So this is completed here. After completion of this point here, next one is fifth one. Observe carefully. Multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. What's the fifth one here? No, multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. So first here we have to understand what is this multiple inheritance and why it is not possible in the case of Java and why it is possible in the case of C++ and Python. In Python, that multiple inheritance is available effectively, but not in the case of Java. Okay, we are going to understand that point clearly. But if we want to understand multiple inheritance, first we have to understand inheritance. After that, we have to understand from where this inheritance is coming. So all these points, one by one here, we have to understand. Okay, now let us understand the points clearly. All of you observe carefully. First of all, now tell me, Java is an object-oriented programming language or not? Come on, Java is what there? An object-oriented programming language. But before understanding the Java and its object orientation, first of all, tell me, when a programming language is an object-oriented programming language? For example, one programming language is available when that programming language is an object-oriented programming language. Right, I will give some answers to you. Try to understand it clearly. If any programming language is able to represent data, if any programming language is able to represent data in the form of objects, in the form of like what they're objects, as per the object oriented features, then the programming language is called an object oriented programming language. Come on, now try to understand it clearly. What is the meaning of object oriented programming language? If any programming language is able to represent data in the form of what their objects as per the object oriented features, then the programming language is called object oriented programming language. Observe carefully. There are 7 object oriented features. How many features are available here? No, 7 object oriented features. What are the 7 object oriented features? No, first one is class. Second one is object. Next one is encapsulation. Next one is what there? Abstraction. Next one is inheritance. Then after this, polymorphism. Polymorphism. Next one is what there? Message passing. Overall, how many features are available? 7 features are available. Out of all these 7 number of features, we don't require all 7 features. No, we don't require all 7 features. Now here I required what there? Now I required inheritance. I required what there? Inheritance. Why? Because I need to talk about like what there? Multiple inheritance. That's the point here. Now first of all, observe carefully. What is inheritance? First of all, what is the meaning of inheritance? Right, sir. I want to take one example. Through that here we are able to get our content here. Now try to understand it clearly. All of you observe carefully. What is the meaning of inheritance? So inheritance is like a relation between parent and child. Inheritance is a relation like parent and child, between parent and child. So for example, I'm giving some clarity, try to understand it now. Your father had very good money. Why are you smiling, sir? Not having very good money. Okay, your parents are having very good properties. Say for example, 100 kg of gold, 100 acres of land. No? How much? You don't know, right? You know it, but you are not going to say that. Tax problems. No? Right, whatever it may be. Say for example, some properties and some properties are available with your parents now. So whenever parent turn is completed, then who will take the responsibility of using them? Definitely child will get all the properties or not. What child will do? What child will do? May increase that properties or may reduce that properties. Maximum reduction only, right? Not increasing, right? So finally we are going to use it or not? Finally we are going to use it or not? Understand my point here? So your parent has declared these properties, but we are using that. Is it not the meaning of reusability? Is it not the meaning of reusability? We are consuming your parents' money. Means that we are using your parents' money. You are not declared that money. Your parents have declared that money, but we are reusing that money. It's the meaning of like what there? Reusability. Okay, here understand it clearly. Here the relationship is available between parent and child. Parent can give, child can take. Parent can give. That means in Java, inheritance is the relation between two classes. Two classes. It will bring variables and methods from one class to another class. Understand my point? In Java, inheritance is the relation between two classes. It will provide variables and methods from one class to another class. In this case, the class which gives properties and methods to some other class. Now this class is called as what their parent class. The class which takes properties and methods from some other class. Here this class is called as what their child class. So now the definition here, what I am telling to you, it's a relation between classes. It's the relation between classes. It will bring variables and methods from one class to another class. It will bring variables and methods from one class to another class. That's the meaning of like what their inheritance. Now tell me, your parents' properties we are reusing or not? So the main advantage of the inheritance, The main advantage of the inheritance is what their code reusability. So in the case of human relationships, no, property reusability, maybe money reusability, something is going on. But in the case of Java, properties and everything is nothing but what their variables and methods only. Declare variables and methods at superclass, the same variables and methods we can reuse in what their subclasses now. So the main advantage of the inheritance is what their code reusability. Okay, nice, good. But how many types of inheritances are available? Two types of inheritances are available initially, not all the, not later on. Observe carefully. Initially, there are two types of inheritances. Initially, there are two types of inheritances. What are the two types of inheritances here now? Single inheritance, and the second one is like what there? Multiple inheritance. Single inheritance, and the second one is what there? Multiple inheritance. Now here, what is the meaning of single inheritance and what is the meaning of multiple inheritance? All of you observe carefully. And before that, what is the point I'm telling here? On the basis of the above two inheritances, there are three more inheritances. Sorry. On the basis of the above two inheritances, there are three more inheritances. What are the three more inheritances here we are getting there? Observe carefully. First one is multi-level inheritance. Right, sir. What is the first one here? No, multi-level inheritance. Next one is like what there? Hierarchical inheritance. Hierarchical inheritance. Next one is what there? Hybrid inheritance. Hybrid inheritance. Overall, now tell me, sir. Initially, there are only two types of inheritances. What are the two types of inheritances? No, single inheritance, multiple inheritance. On the basis of the two types of inheritances, there are three more inheritances. What are the three more inheritances? No, multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, hybrid inheritance. Yes, sir. All of you are getting it or not? So anyway, at present in our discussion, these concepts are not required. The second level of inheritances are not required. In our conversation, I required only these two. I required only these two inheritances. Why? Because my target is what there? Multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. So before going to understand why it is not possible, first I have to understand what is multiple inheritance. That's why I'm discussing about all these points clearly. Right, sir. All of you are getting it or not? So initial, how many types of inheritances are available? Two types. Single inheritance, multiple inheritance. On the basis of these two, how many types are available? Three more types. What are the three more types? No, multi-level, hierarchical, and a hybrid. That's it. So now I need to talk about what is the meaning of single inheritance. Okay. So I think so then time may not be sufficient for it. It may take some time here. So tomorrow I'll explain about this remaining content of this particular point. So Apchano, just given, I started this total conversation right from object-oriented programming languages onwards. So in object-oriented programming languages, data will be represented in the form of objects as per the object-oriented features. How many object-oriented features are available? 7. What are the 7? You know, class, object, encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, message passing. So here directly I required what feature can know? Inheritance. Inheritance is a relation between classes. It will bring variables and methods from one class to another class. Now here I'm telling there that one class is called as like what there? Super class. That another class is called as like what there? Subclass, or maybe parent class and a base class. Sorry, parent class and child class. Base class and a derived class. Base class and a derived class. So these many terminologies are available, but in Java, official terminology is like what there? Superclass, subclass. Don't say parent class and child class. Don't say base class and a derived class. Now, directly we have the terminology like what there? Superclass and subclass. What is the main advantage of this inheritance? No, code reusability. Initial, how many types are available? Two types. Later on, how many types are prepared there? No, three more types are prepared. Okay, then what is the meaning of single inheritance and all the content here? So we are going to understand it tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll finish it max 2 to 3 differences here. We are going to finish on tomorrow. Why? Because up to this one is a somewhat lengthy concepts. No, next two differences are very, very simple, and within one day we are able to complete the remaining differences clearly. That's it. Max, tomorrow we are able to finish the differences between Java and others. If I completed that, immediately I will start Java features. After that, Java programming format. After that, Java naming conventions. That's finished. Then immediately we will go with what their steps to prepare first Java application. Okay. Then anyway, I'm going to discuss about this content in the next week. In the middle of the next week, I'm going to take your classes at 10 o'clock also. Now try to understand it clearly. I given the schedule number of times here. Please recognize the schedule clearly. Okay. Right, sir. That's all for today. Then tomorrow we'll see the remaining content. Thank you. Thanks a lot. So meet in tomorrow, guys. And link is going to be changed, guys. Please recognize it. Very soon the link is going to be changed there. If you are not yet registered, please try to register for the courses now. Okay. Thank you.